Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Let me tell you about a couple exciting events I have coming up. On October 8th, I return out there to Naked Vine with my singer-songwriter storytelling showcase, bringing along my friends Aaron Joe Paddlefoot of the Dead Roses, Jeff Nations, and Doug Burkett of Odds Lane. Again, that's every second Tuesday of the month out there at Naked Vine, 7 p.m. start, and it's $10 cover at the door. If you haven't been out there, this is a intimate listening room experience with 3 writers sitting on stools, sharing stories behind all these your favorite songs. And you can bring your own food out there. So come on out, have dinner and a show with us at Naked Vine at 7 o'clock. Again, October 8th. And October 11th, Friday night, I'm heading out to Washington, Missouri to Otis Campbell's, and I'm hosting a party out there with my good friends. Man the Helm, Out Amongst the Masses, Silent Hollow, and Gabe Stroop's new project, 333. I'm not sure if I said that right, but great Gabe will correct me. So anyway, it's going to be a great night out there again at Otis Campbell's, kind of a hometown throwdown for Gabe and for Man the Helm out there. So come out to that party. Again, Otis Campbell's, 21 and up, $5 at the door on Friday, October 11th. I'll see you out there. Anyway, I've been talking about Naked Vine. Check them out there in Chesterfield, Missouri, located 1624 Clarkson Road, right next there to the St. Louis Bread Co. Always serving up the finest wine, whiskey, tequila, local craft beers, and you can come by and visit them this weekend for some great live music. On Friday the 27th, September 27th, you can see Missouri Breaks out there, and Saturday, September 28th, The Big Idea. Again, find all this information and more at nakedvine.net. Be sure to follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And also wanted to tell you about Heil Sound. If you haven't checked out Heil yet, go visit them today at heilsound.com and check out some of their wonderful products. I've been using this microphone. I love it. It's really helped take this show quality to the next level. So big thank you to Heil. And I also want to tell you about Joseph Meyer Club. You've been hearing me talking about them. Another great product I love using. And check out josephmeyerclub.com. Check out their brand new foaming aftershave. And you can pick some up today with 20% off using my exclusive code RPPJMC20 at checkout. Again, josephmeyerclub.com. Be sure to follow along with them also on Facebook. All right, that's it for me, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for continuing to tell your friends and family about the show. I appreciate all the continued support. And if you would like a hat or shirt or anything, or just want to say hey, feel free to email me at rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. Please follow along with the show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I would love to hear from you. Have a great day. Thanks, everybody.
Podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
Hi, this is Justin Brown.
And this is Jesse Irwin.
From the Dock
Ellis
Band.
And
you're
listening
to
Rock
Paper
Podcast.
Rock Paper
Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast, y'all.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out with some of the guys of the Dock Ellis Band. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, thank you for having us.
You guys want to properly introduce yourselves for everybody?
Sure.
Sure, go ahead.
My name is Jesse, Jesse Irwin, Irwin.
Hi, I'm Justin Brown.
This is, I'm glad to be here, guys. This is going to be fun. This is, actually, Jesse is a returning guest.
I am. We
did one a long time ago.
At a steakhouse. Well, it wasn't a real steakhouse. It was just a place that served steaks one night a week.
Well, I think we tried to do it at the steakhouse, and then we were running into a lot of difficulties, and I think we ended up actually recording it in the van.
That's right. We went into a van outside.
I think we recorded in Ryan's van.
Yeah, that was a pretty good way to adapt and overcome and improvise and all that.
Yeah, I like to.
You got to be proud of that.
Surely someone's doing a podcast exclusively from a van. That would be.
Yeah, I've actually been thinking about so there's like that Jam in the Van series. You ever catch that on YouTube and stuff?
Know. They like play music in.
Yeah, that's literally what they do. Like they got this whole back of this like van like decked out and all kinds of equipment, and so like sometimes it's just like 2 or 3 guys, but then sometimes it's like a full band of like 8, 9 players, and somehow they manage to squeeze them all in, and like somebody's like tucked back in the corner trying to play, and it's like it's so anyway, it's really a great series, but that kind of sparked this idea. Like, I think it would be fun to literally set up a podcast studio in the van and be able to like go to festivals or concerts or wherever and just kind of set up and record there and things and do something like that. So I've kind of wanted to take their idea and sort of make it my own. But then I was like, I don't know if I wanted to drive around in a van full of a bunch of equipment all the time and put my name on it or something like that, and then wind up being.
You just got to get a second vehicle just for it. This is America, man. You can do it.
Right.
We can do those kind of things.
There's no shortage of vans out there.
There's just like a whole country full of vans.
Right.
In fact, I know a guy who's selling one.
All right.
And I could put you in touch.
Yeah.
It's a 2500. It's a Chevrolet Express 2500.
Put a lot of gear in that thing.
You really could. You can just fill it with high-old products made here locally. They're really great. I use all of them.
All of them.
That's a true story.
Yeah.
But this is cool, man. I'm glad to be here hanging with you guys, getting to talk. This kind of feel like it's been a long time coming. I mean, I've been following around. I've been aware of Dock Ellis for a long time. I've seen you guys play, but we haven't actually done a proper Dock Ellis episode or anything. Jesse come on and said and talked about some of the stuff, like I said before, but this is cool to kind of get to talk to you guys, share some of these stories, and then we got a big show coming up we want to talk about too, and so it seemed to be good timing.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
I think I didn't think about it till just now, but I think we just passed our 13th year.
Yeah,
in the last couple of weeks. Probably.
I've been saying we're 12 for So
our
now
first show was
13.
Teenager,
2006, right?
Yeah,
Memorial Day or Labor Day 2006.
What's a 13-year-old do anyway? I'm trying to think of what Dock Ellis would be doing.
We need to have a rite of
the
passage.
band was a person. We do need to
It's time for us to go on a wilderness. Like do a bunch of peyote and go out in the desert or something.
Yeah, I'm down. There's what's that ayahuasca ceremony or something?
Oh yeah, have you heard about this like church in Kentucky that they give people ayahuasca? Like they've gotten around the law by saying they're a church.
Oh yeah,
so people flock there to take ayahuasca and have these near-death experiences.
I haven't heard. I don't know if I heard that particular scenario, but we were talking just a moment off mic about Howard Stern, and I'm a big fan of his show. And Robin went and did some kind of ayahuasca thing, and was telling her story, and Howard made fun of her for a lot about it and stuff. So anyway, that's the only thing I'm really familiar with and stuff.
I guess it's pretty serious stuff. I don't know too much about it, but there's a TV show with this preacher. I don't know. Have you not seen it?
I know a person who did it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Should we out them on the show?
No. I'm not that Tekashi 6ix9ine guy. I don't even know how to say his name. I'm not a narc like that.
All right.
Yep.
Well, what did they say about it?
This person, I'm going to refer to this person as they, in that sort of way that you do now. This person said it was sort of like dying, and there were all sorts of weird fractal shapes and sort of lines going in and out with each other. It sort of looked like the album cover of Pretzel Logic, the Steely Dan album cover. And this person did it 2 nights in a row, and apparently you have to sign up to do 2 nights in a row when you do this. So something was revealed to they on the first night, and something else was revealed to they on the Second night, they.
Were they on that TV show that I was just talking about, or was it the same place?
It was the same place.
Okay.
It was coming out of the same place.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Interesting.
So that's what you guys are going to do to celebrate 13 years?
I don't know. The guy seems like a quack. I don't really want to hang out with him, you know?
The guy only shows up once a year.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I may or may not have gotten an invitation to the next one.
Well, okay. Cool.
So excuse me, how do you guys come together and form Dock Ellis 13 years ago? Can we go back a little bit to the
What a great question.
the origin story?
Yeah. Do you want to do this?
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I'll start with the first part. We are a band that came out of Frederick's Music Lounge. Which if you're not familiar with that, was a really great club that was located just east of Kings Highway on Chippewa, and it was in a basement, and it was a place where all sorts of people played, famous people and people that just walked in off the street, and it was all curated by Fred Friction, and very, very special place that felt a lot like my living room. That's where I first met Justin. We would go to the open mic there. That's where the Chippewa Chapel open mic started.
Okay.
We came to know each other through there, and I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah. Well, I guess we knew other people there. And so our friend Pete was supposed to be starting a country band with his friend, and his friend kept dragging his feet on it. He was going to play bass in this band, and Pete was like, well, just give me your bass then. And so he recruited another friend and the two of us, and we basically all hadn't met before the first practice. Like, I hadn't met the bass player or the drummer before our first practice. Jesse hadn't met the bass player, Adam. Pete also hadn't met the drummer. And Adam and the drummer Jeremiah both showed up drunk and surly to the first practice, and I actually for a minute thought they were going to get in a fist fight at practice, because Adam was playing bass for the very first time ever, and Jeremiah was kind of a neophyte drummer, I guess you would say at that point, but Adam had been playing drums forever, and so everything Jeremiah was doing was aggravating Adam as a drummer, and at one point Jeremiah was just sitting there just ding, ding, ding on the ride cymbal.
With a real big, goofy grin on his face, staring straight at Adam.
And
I
he's like, are you going to
that.
stop doing that ever? And he's just grins harder and keeps doing it.
That's those two guys in a nutshell, too.
Yeah. So that was our auspicious beginning.
I hated the first practice, and I just remember I had a bare light bulb in the, I lived in a 4-family on Eichelberger, and I was we were in the basement, and I was looking up at this light bulb. I was staring straight at this light bulb, wishing this practice would end because it was so bad. And I thought, man, I wish I wouldn't have said yes to this, because now I have to tell all these people I don't want to be in this band. And I have no idea how.
13 years later, you haven't figured out how to break it, too.
No.
Still.
I don't know how. I don't know how we even had a second practice. If I was talked back into it, because I don't think I wanted to do it. Somebody must have been like, hey, let's try it again or something.
I don't remember you expressing any big doubts, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah. But yeah, it was terrible, and it made me feel like it made me feel like a huge loser, you know. I'm like, how did I even get in this situation, you know? Like, this guy's never played bass before. Like why did I agree to this? But anyway, yeah. Then we played our first show. We learned, I don't know, some songs, and then we played
maybe
our first
5 songs. We played them all 5 times.
At Bill Weiser, William Weiser's backyard party, and that was a pretty debauched place over on Winnebago, just east of Grand, and it was a real weird place to be all the time.
There it is.
There it is.
Yep. And then the rest is history. So how do you guys decide on a name like Dock Ellis? Where after at that practice, is that where it comes out of? Or
it probably came a little later, but I think Pete McAvity came up with it. He was our steel guitar player, and really the guy who I guess kind of pushed us all to get together. But I'm pretty sure he came up with it. Like, I'm not sure if I knew who Dock Ellis was before he told me.
He came up with
about
that.
it.
Yeah, I didn't know
This
who
was
he
before the cartoons and the Todd Snyder song and all that, you know?
I mean, we're like first wave Dock Ellis reference.
I think, actually, we looked it up. There was a
Oh,
band in Cincinnati that was called Dock Ellis, like back in the 80s.
But not the Dock Ellis Band.
No, yeah, that's why we added all the extra shit.
Yeah. So, I didn't like the name either, and I really didn't want to be called Dock Ellis Band.
I still don't like the name. I don't know.
I was thinking that, I wanted to be called Jefferson County Airplane. I thought that would be really good. And I had some other names, and everybody was just like, "No, let's do." You lobbied real hard for Dock Ellis. You're like, "No, it's cool. It's a drug reference." Yeah, it was like, "Let's do it." I'm like, "All right." Basically,
Fair
this
enough.
has just been me compromising one time after another for 13 years, and I'm sick of it. I don't know what I'm gonna do about it, but I'm gonna do something real big and real soon.
Oh, man. We should do like a whole night of truck driving songs somewhere. Would that be an anti-compromise?
I mean, I don't really want to do that, but if it's what you want to do, I guess, I'll help you with it or whatever. I mean, it's not really my thing.
well, I guess that's a good time to drop in a plug for this show. Even though Jesse's not on board.
10-4, good buddy.
Yeah. Coming up October 4th at South Broadway Athletic Club, you guys will be doing an evening of truck driving tunes, along with a bunch of our talented friends, like Jimbo Darville. Is it Darville?
Darville, yeah.
Yeah, and the Truckadours. Well, man, I can't read.
Yeah, Jimbo Darville and the Truckadours. They're from Colorado.
Ryne Koenig, Sons of Ill Repute, Circle the Wagons, all kinds of people.
Yeah, Ryan Watts just added on to the show. He's going to open the show up that night. Our friend Sarah Jones is going to do a few songs with us, and my wife Deanna Lee Brown's going to do some songs with us. It happens to be our 10th wedding anniversary that night, so she was kind enough to let me play this show instead of take her out to dinner. But yeah, it's going to be fun. We're all involved and excited, and
Yeah.
The thing about the South Broadway Athletic Club is it's gigantic, and it's a place that serves liquor and beer, and they're very generous about the distribution of these things, and it's relatively inexpensive. But there's no. It's kind of like for a bar, there's usually like a boss, and then there's people who work for the boss. But this is basically a bar with no functioning government, and it's just a bunch of people, and random people are bartending at. I shouldn't even say this. Sounds like really bad. It's a very, they have a liquor license to maintain. It's really well regulated. They have a cabinet where they lock everything up. And it's just down to the dime. You should see they have an old school adding machine that's been there since 1910, and they still use it. I mean, that is how serious these people are about keeping track of things. But anyway, it's a place to hang out where you can just you could take off running across this place and be out of breath before you got to the other end. And it's huge, and you can just kind of sit wherever and do whatever. And there's really no adult to yell at you and stuff, like you'd have to be. I mean, if you did something really ridiculous, they'd beat you up. But it's like it would just be a bunch of people deciding to do it, and not TGI Fridays management, the manager on duty at the Chili's or whatever when you get drunk in there and they call the police. It's not like that.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been there.
Yeah. You could do something dumb and it wouldn't necessarily go down on your record, is what I'm saying. So this is a place to party. October 4th.
Yeah.
This is live free or die.
And like I said, it is 10-4. You guys will be doing a tribute to truckers and truck driving songs. And we did a couple live here today, a little live stripped down acoustic versions of some of these songs. And you guys want to start with truck driving? Anything we need to add around this particular one?
It's just a silly song I wrote a few years ago. I was driving home from a show on New Year's Eve in Columbia, and I was just trying not to fall asleep and die, so I wrote that song in my head. I don't know. It pretty much speaks for itself other than that.
Right. That
A little delirious. Oh, truck driving. Oh, truck driving. This song's about the trucker's code. The rules we live by on the road. Cause the diesel driving man, he ain't no saint. He just tries to keep his rig between the paint. This job takes balls, but it don't take brains. You just grab the wheel and go. Code says trade one life for 10. It's a reflex for the braver men. But we all respond by fight or flight, and I'm afraid that I just might be tested on some fateful night and find my courage thin. One day I topped a hill at 90 per, and a school bus was down below, sideways in the curve. I could see the faces of those little kids. I tapped the brakes, I felt it skid. I felt it skid. Well, the guardrail there was way too low, and that bus was moving way too slow. I could steer to the left and save their lives, or punch right through to the other side and set her down in the big old white valley down below. To that school bus full of little kids, they sang 99 bottles of beer on the wall till my Peterbilt came through and killed them all. 99 kids in a big old ball of flaming yellow steel. You may call me a murderer, you may call me a coward as well, but the insurance made me a millionaire, and I'll be truck driving this solid gold wheelchair all the way to hell.
I've been there, man. Like there's like that magic moment, where you're just you start kind of getting like slap happy almost and stuff, where you're just starting to go delirious, and then like you start coming up with all kinds of crazy rhymes or things going on in your head, and then like, so it's fun to. I've never been a songwriter, but I imagine like I've definitely like improvised thing, just coming up with.
Yeah, you have to keep your brain awake.
Right.
I've written a couple of songs that way, just driving late at night and trying not to kill everyone in the van.
Yeah, you wrote.
I guess I should do that more.
Yeah, I should sit up in the seat next to you and fall asleep more. That could just be no help keeping you awake. It's really. I mean, you should give me a co-ride on those. On the one for just like scaring you by. Well, first I made you drive because I couldn't see the lines on the road or really anything.
That's true.
So then
he said, "When you look out the window, like, can you see things?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can you see the horizon?" I was like, "Yeah." And so we switched seats.
It was just an inky blackness. It was. We were going through tolls, and anyway, so yeah, we switched seats. We talked about food for a long time, and then I started falling asleep, and he wrote a song. I got a root beer at a Casey's and a slice of pepperoni pizza, and it was like a 1 liter root beer, and I pretty much drank it as fast as I could, and then I was just. That kept me awake for a while. I had terrible indigestion, and I was sort of rocking back and forth in the seat, still talking about food. I wanted to cook and things, and that was a good trip.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a real good trip.
Hey,
Anyway.
that shout out to Casey's Pizza, man.
You know what? I'm not ashamed.
It's a pretty fine product for some gas station pizza.
I feel like, a lot of people are like, hey, don't hide the fact that you're a Christian even though you're persecuted. And I'm not that type of person, but I feel the same way about Casey's Pizza in that there's a lot of people that want to trash Casey's Pizza because it's from a gas station. And, they make fun of me for liking Casey's Pizza. But, at the pearly gates, I will not have denied Casey's Pizza to anyone. Right. I would have said, hey, if you changed the name on it and you called it Cassie's Pizza, okay, and you put it in a little restaurant, it was all hip looking, you had a white tablecloth, people would pay $34 for a Cassie's Pizza, and they wouldn't, it would be on the Sauce magazine would do a write up of it, and people would tag themselves there. But I'm proud to see I eat that gas station pizza. The crust has never been frozen.
Right.
It's a fresh made crust. You don't get that everywhere.
Wow, that's an endorsement.
Yep.
I think I'm like predisposed to not like it because the Casey's in my hometown when I was a kid was really cheap, and so the pizza would have like a 3-inch wide crust all the way around it of just this like pale doughiness. You
see a lot of that in Illinois Casey's.
Yeah.
The ones that
Lame.
I think there's like a miserly Casey's. Because in the DeSoto, Missouri, where I'm from, and the DeSoto's Casey's, they use slices from a large pizza for their grab-and-go slices.
Oh, they didn't do that when I was a kid, though.
Man,
like back at this Casey's, you had to get the whole pizza. And there'd be a line out the door for these wagon wheel pizzas with a big 3-inch crust.
I mean, the crust is pretty decent.
And then they made those cheeseburger ones with like ketchup and mustard instead of pizza sauce. Disgusting.
Yeah, I mean that's gross. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like everything they make,
Yeah.
But as far as most of the time, it's the best place to eat in a tiny town because all the restaurants are horrible. The one restaurant that they've got is horrible, and it's not open until after 7 or like it closes at 7 p.m. or something.
Yeah. I'll go to Dairy Queen.
Grandma's been dead a long time. There ain't anybody in the country that knows how to cook anymore unless they're Amish.
Or Sonic. I'll go to Sonic.
Man, I eat about one of those a year. It's really weird. Justin's always after me for my. We have really opposite tastes in fast food, which is for but he's like always giving me like you ate at White Castle, you're a horrible person or something, kind of throwing shade on me like that. And then he was like, I like the Taco Bell loaded fries, and I'm like, what? Like
loaded fries? Oh, the nacho fries.
Yeah, the nacho fries. I'm like looking at you like you. I think
they reminded me of something from when I was a kid.
I threw them out the window.
You told me that.
Yeah, they were terrible. No, I didn't. I put them on my floorboard. I don't throw stuff out the window. That's for trashy people. But anyway, yeah, I had that, and I said, "Oh, this is just the worst." What's happening to America when I ate these things? I thought, is this where we're at now? You know, like people are paying money for this. And then Justin was like, yeah, I like them fries. But then he gives me, every time I get a slice of Casey's pizza, he looks at me like I'm some kind of Philistine or something. Like,
No, not anymore.
with the pizza again.
I
you
look
know,
for
with the
Casey's on the road for you now. Are you kidding me?
Well, in a really ironic sort of way, like there's a Casey's, Jesse.
Well, I want to go there because you want to go there, but Casey's have terrible bathrooms. They just have like one whole bathrooms, and it takes a band of 5 or 6 people a long time.
They got a weak bathroom game, dude. I'm sorry. You know, you know, thanks for doing this for me, even though.
Yeah. They're not on that QT level, you know.
This is the thing: is you'd never see a real trucker, a real driver stop at a Casey's. For one, they don't sell diesel, but also
some of them
do.
They have like one. Yeah, you're right.
You know,
right.
Those guys. They can't be waiting around for a toilet.
We did talk about doing this at a truck stop.
We did.
We almost made it out there to the TA, and I thought that would be more appropriate.
That would have been fun. I haven't seen a truck stop with a real truck stop restaurant in it in a long time. You know.
Yeah.
You have to
I need to go
west. You have to get pretty far west or east of here to go to a real one. You got to be a tank of gas away from here. You know, like if you have like what would a tank of gas be? All cars go like 400 miles now, so that's maybe
Could be something
exaggeration.
between here and Memphis, right?
Well, I grew up in Wentzville, and we used to have the country fixins out there, and it was attached to the truck stop there. And now they it's just a field where they plowed everything down. And
Oh yeah.
excuse me.
What did you think about the truckers when you were a kid? Did you see truckers in there? Did you think anything of them?
I mean, you know, there was definitely some interesting characters coming through there. It always made me laugh when they all had like that giant 80-ounce mug, you know, for they fill with soda or whatever. And I'm like, you know, everyone had that big plastic mug and they would fill it up, and I remember that. You know, it seemed like everybody had one of those, all the truckers, and just massive amount of Mountain Dew or Pepsi or whatever.
I was born like right at the height of the real trucker craze, you know. Like, I think Smokey and the Bandit was my Star Wars when I was a kid, you know.
That's a classic.
There was much more of that sort of culture around me.
I'd say that's accurate for my childhood as well. That was on Channel 11. Smokey and the Bandit was on Channel 11. The Dukes of Hazzard were still on reruns when I was a little kid. So
I had to wait a whole week to watch the Dukes of Hazzard when I was a kid. I was scratching my ankle.
We're like that's like that.
We're one Dukes of Hazzard.
We're 1 degree within the same sitcom. You know, like
a lot of stories about running moonshine back then. You know, so it's a lot of.
Yeah, it's all kind of interrelated, I guess.
Bootlegging booze.
It's it's always fun to break the law, and in real sort of petty ways that don't really hurt anyone. But you're like, I'm just going to do this because I want, and nothing happens. You just get to do all the stuff you're not supposed to do. I've sort of really, I enjoy it a lot. I do it anytime I can.
Yeah. Those. I mean, I remember watching Smokey and the Bandit like a lot as a kid too, and I don't know. The first one's obviously the classic, but they didn't. The I think there's a box. I think you get like they basically gave you the second one for free. I think if you bought the first one, it was like a.
Well, there was a third one too that only had Jerry Reed in it.
Right.
Yeah, Bert wasn't in that one.
That's probably the best one.
Oh yeah.
Is it? I haven't watched it in a long time.
If it was just hours of watching Jerry Reed, that would be great.
I think it had the weakest story of the three, though. It was a little darker, maybe even.
I think Jerry Reed is really the coolest of them all. I was having this conversation with Wayne and Bowden about how he could play guitar better than any of the outlaw people. He had a good stage presence. He wrote songs, and he was a gigantic dude that would you know, like could pick up a dude and throw him and stuff.
That was useful back then.
So like Jerry Reed could have beat up any of the other country singers except for maybe like, well, I don't know, like Don Williams was pretty huge. That would have been pretty wild, but I think Jerry Reed's probably meaner, you know. So
yeah, it all comes down to who fights dirtiest, really.
yeah,
you know?
and I think that would be Jerry Reed. I mean, you don't get nicknamed the Gentle Giant and sing all like I don't know. Maybe Don Williams would surprise you. Maybe he would just choke. Just
I don't know. Maybe they're
like,
fighting, and like little Jimmy Dickens walks up and whacks him on the head with a
Jumbo like a
Gibson
sap or
guitar,
something, you know? Like, boy, that'd be cool. And then he takes the belt home.
Yeah.
Like, it's like WWE type little Jimmy Dickens stands up with the belt, like stands on their like passed out bodies, unconscious bodies. That's the word I was looking for. But anyway, I think Jerry Reed, yeah, he really is. If you wanted a country singer on your side, like, you know, like that would be the dude. Everybody else is just kind of running their mouth, you know.
All right.
You guys ever listen to Tim Wilson at all?
No, I'm not familiar with Tim Wilson.
Is that the guy from Home Improvement?
He's kind of a country comedian, but he had a great song called "I Married a Woman That Talked Like Jerry."
Oh yeah, I heard that one time.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Put some groceries down my neck. So I took her to a fancy restaurant. She looked down her nose and said, "Now why didn't we stop at a choke and puke for some grilled cheese sandwiches?" I don't know.
Anyway, that's what was going through my head the whole time.
I forgot about that song.
I'm going to go home and watch the Smokey and the Bandit trilogy tonight. I don't
There
know
you
about
go.
you guys.
Some fine entertainment.
I gotta fold some clothes. Got a lot of clothes to fold.
Well, let's drop in another truck driving tune. This one again, performed live acoustic here on the show, and this one features Jesse taking lead, and it's called 5 o'clock in my truck. Anything around this one, Jesse?
Yeah, I wrote this song on a cardboard box and with a Sharpie in the middle of the night, and my wife actually had a co-write with me on this, and it was a lot of fun. And we haven't written a song together since, you know. Maybe I should try to make that happen again. But yeah, this is a song that I co-wrote with my wife, Emmylou Reefer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Road man with a left-sided suntan, looking at women and living on gas station food. I'm shifting in flip-flops, taking my shirt off, feeling the rays on my old Jimmy Buffett tattoo. My dispatcher's hassling me, so I just turned off my CB. They all try to rush me, and nobody cares how I feel. But this morning I'm feeling no pain, hauling 10,000 pounds of plantains. I've had enough, and it's time to let go of the wheel. You'll never have all that you want when you're driving for JB Hunt and let this big rig go its own way. I'm headed to Parrot Bay. It's about time I climbed in this thermos of rum. I think I'll just call it a day. This thing drives itself anyway. Stick my feet out the window for luck. It's 5 o'clock in my truck. Margaritaville, reaching back in the sleeper, trying to find a packet of salt. And whatever the DOT claims, I know that I won't be to blame. When I'm up on the stand, I'll say it's all Kenny Chesney's fault. I'm gonna sit here and get ripped to the sound of these cars getting clipped. Let this big rig go its own way. I'm headed to Parrot Bay. My whole epidermis is craving this thermos of rum. I'll miss every one of the turns. I'll climb out of this rig as it burns. I hope that no children get struck. It's 5 o'clock in my truck. I'm just along for the ride, wherever these big wheels go.
This it's cool to hear too that you guys are collaborating with your wife's as you Justin mentioned your wife singing on the show with you guys on October 4th and stuff like.
Yeah, she's going to be singing with us, and maybe she doesn't know this yet, but she'll have it by the time this airs. I just bought her an auto harp for her anniversary gift, so maybe she'll be playing auto harp at the show too. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I'm sorry for jacking around with your cord here. This is just nervous fit. I'm probably destroying your XLR cable. Let me know. Are these the ones that have the lifetime guarantee on them? I sure hope so, because I think I've. Oh no, they'll probably. Are these Heil cables?
No, these are.
I didn't think they made cables.
Yeah.
Do they make cables?
I'm not.
If they do, I'd buy them because
Right.
I'm sure they're great, like everything Heil makes.
They make great products. They. I think these are just some Guitar Center special. So, yep.
I called those road hogs when I worked there.
But they do the job, Hey.
I was wondering why you're like waving at me and stuff. I'm like, "Hey, Shane, what's up?" But you're destroying my property without having to. But that's okay. I
don't care about it. It was making noises.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's even
So
better.
I was trying to be. But that again, October 4th. Come on out to South Broadway Athletic Club. What are we doing? Is there just a cash cover at the door or something? Or what?
Okay, so if you are a real driver, if you have a Class A or a Class B commercial driver's license, you get in absolutely free. And if you show up in an 18-wheeler, I will buy your first 15 beers.
Damn.
For everyone else, it's $10. For that, you get 4 or 5 bands. We're going to probably have about 50 or 60 truck driving songs, all specifically in the subgenre of truck driving. No road songs, no highway songs, no hitchhiking songs. These are trucking songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what makes a great trucking song? I mean, like.
First of all, being about trucking specifically makes it a great trucking song. If you can include, some other sort of like some trucking songs are great just because they're about trucking. It's like my gears are doing this and my wheels are doing that, and it's like, all right, that's cool, And then there's some trucking songs like 18 Wheels and a Dozen Roses, that's like really a love song. And like it's wistful and it's like hopeful, and it's still specifically about driving trucks too, which is just amazing.
What about like Grateful Dead's Trucking?
That's a really great song. I don't know if anyone's doing it at the show. Maybe we can talk someone into it. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing is, I researched I spent a couple weeks just listening to nothing but truck driving songs. There are hundreds and hundreds of them. Trucking's a cool song.
It's the most common occupation in the United States. I'm pretty sure. So it would make sense that a lot of people wrote about their jobs, you know.
There's a really great. Did you ever listen to The Last Truck Driving Man, The World's Last Truck Driving Man by Bobby Bear?
No.
Oh my God. It's like this futuristic.
Whoa.
Like it's 2080 and this guy's the last truck driver on earth and he like lights the world's last Lucky Strike cigarette and drinks the world's last cup of coffee and drives his truck onto heaven.
Whoa.
It's really beautiful.
Man. That's like
because truckers are going to go away.
Wow, yeah,
that's
yeah.
the thing.
Are you voting for Andrew Yang?
I don't even.
He wants to.
He's playing the
Reserve
field.
truck driving?
He's playing
Is
the
that what
field.
it's-
No, he's like, no, trucking's gone, man. I'm gonna give you $1,000 a month because you're not gonna have a job anymore, and neither will all the people at the TA. And really, this is maybe one of the last truck driving country tribute shows you're gonna see, because it's like, does anybody do a tribute for milkmen anymore or for chimney sweeps? No.
I don't know. It's bigger than that, though. You know, like if trains were gone, you'd still do train songs, right?
I mean, for a while, and then it would be like it would be like singing about those bicycles that had the really big front wheel and riding one of those, and people would be like,
penny
"Come on!"
farthings.
It'd be like,
I don't know, man. Think
"Come
about all the
on,
great
you
songs
hipster,
about
quit singing
dodo
on
birds
that
and
train."
stuff.
Yeah. All the songs about Thomas Cranmer, Archbishop of Canterbury. Some hits there.
Yeah.
Well, hop in your big rig, drive it on down to South Broadway Athletic Club, and get 15 free beers from Justin on October 4th.
October 4th, 10-4.
Yeah.
Good, buddy.
Yeah. That sounds like gonna be a pretty ridiculous night, full of all kinds of good tunes and a lot of shenanigans. I'm assuming. And
Our friend Heather Lindsay is hosting the night, and I'm leaving most of the shenanigans up to her. I'm hoping she'll have something fun to do and wear. She's known for some pretty fun costumes.
are you guys all like wearing your proper trucker attire and stuff? And
You know, I hadn't really thought about it too much. Most truckers I see these days are wearing sweatpants and flip-flops.
Like chip dust all over the front. They don't make snacks like they used to.
But I don't know if it's cool enough. Maybe I'll break out the puffy vest.
there you go.
I've already got my shirt picked out, but I'm kind of secretly hoping that I don't show up in the same shirt as Wayne and Bowden. So I'm gonna have to discuss that with him beforehand.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't.
Sleeveless flannels.
Yeah, I got a sleeveless fan. I don't even want it to be the
I
same.
mean,
color.
they sell them right at the truck stops, you know.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
You know
I'll
it's
just
authentic.
have a spare. I'll just have a spare. That's what I'll do.
yeah, I'm gonna wear one of those real ugly yellow safety vests.
Yeah. Those
Just
are.
make it really hard to look at the
In
stage
France,
all night.
that's what all the patriots wear. Right now. So. Yeah.
We did talk quite a bit about Casey's Pizza, but do you guys have a particular truck stop, item that you only get there, like something you're thinking about? If you guys are on the road and you stop at a truck stop, what's your go-to?
That's tough. I was on the road every day for a few years, for a long, and there's really nothing at truck stops I look forward to anymore, except when you're in the South. Like some of them have tacos in Texas and barbecue. Sometimes it's good. And it's always cool when they have those hot tamales in the little steamer thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a rare, pleasant find at a truck stop.
Back.
Is it just pizza?
There's
Chocolate milk?
Yeah, you read my mind. I've been in a band with this guy for 13 years. I always look forward to getting some chocolate milk. I always check the expiration date. It's almost a neurosis at this point, and I'm able to tell people regularly that their chocolate milk is expired. You'd be surprised at how often chocolate milk sits at a gas station and nobody buys it. But anyway, you learn the hard way on some things, and so I usually get chocolate milk while we're out driving. It's good to keep my strength up while we're out doing road stuff. But back when I was a guy that had a phone that took a micro USB, usually the thing I was looking forward to was getting a new cable at every single truck stop, because it's really the worst way to charge a phone ever. And I'm so glad that I have a USB-C phone now. It's changed my life. It's so much better. But yeah, I've had the same charger for like 2 years, the same charging cable for 2 years.
Nice.
It's incredible. It's a revolution.
Yeah, man, game changer.
Yeah.
I want to tell you guys a good truck stop story that I had. I was going to Farm Aid in Kansas City one year to see everybody, Willie and Mellencamp and Neil Young and everybody. So anyway, I'd been watching this show. There was this I forget now the title. They only did like one season of it, but it was based in the Midway truck stop in Columbia, Missouri. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't know if you've ever been there or seen the show at all, but they at the Midway truck stop, they have like a tattoo parlor. You can get your taxes done. It's got the restaurant. Just like there's like everything at this particular truck stop. And actually, another fun fact is I also saw Willie do like there's like Willie's Country Throwdown thing, like in this like cow pasture right next to Midway truck stop. So it was just kind of weird that we had like this big country concert at the Midway truck stop. Anyway, so I've been watching it, and they had this like biscuits and gravy eating competition there. Like it's and they called it the Big 70 Challenge, and it was like 7 biscuits, 2 orders of hash browns, like I think 8 pieces of bacon, and all that covered in 70 ounces of gravy. And and yeah, like if you could eat it in an hour, I think it was.
Like 5 pints of gravy.
You get to be euthanized for free,
right?
Because that's all you're going to be asking for after finishing that.
So if you eat it, you get it for free, and then I think like $100 or something like that.
Can you imagine eating a food item that they put it in a little cardboard can, and you start to peel the paper away, and it goes, it explodes, and all the biscuits come out? Like that happens again when you eat a bunch of them in your stomach. Like eating a biscuit, they just turn into a beach ball. I only want 1 biscuit.
Right.
I want maybe a biscuit and a half if I'm super hungry. It's like
you don't want 7.
It's like eating spray
How much
foam.
did it cost if you couldn't eat it all?
Well, I think it was only like $20.
Oh, that's
anyway, I was
you gotta
like,
take the
who wouldn't take
leftovers
that
home.
challenge?
so I was like watching it, and I'm like, either way,
Leftover
like
eggs and gravy.
either way, I'm like, it's some damn good biscuits and gravy for $20. I'm like, so I give it a shot. I'm eating. I eat like it comes out in like these 2 like troughs, like, and you eat it with like a wooden ladle spoon, and like, so they bring it out in 2 so it doesn't get all cold and stuff. So it's like, so I ate the first one. I'm like, all right, bring me the second one, and then I'm like, but it was like 2 bites into the second one. I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I can't. And then like kind of all kicked into that. I'm also on my way to Farm Aid, and like,
oh yeah,
so like I have to go to an all day concert after this, and like not go home and just die. So I was like, and but yeah. So I gave it a shot, but I didn't. And then my name is on the wall of shame now, and it's like
for failing.
Yeah. So I've been wanting to go back and redeem myself. And
Man, that's a great idea to get you to keep trying.
Have you ever done like competitive eating or those sorts of eating challenges and stuff?
I've done a couple, mostly just as a goof. Like I think it'd be a good story to tell on a podcast someday.
Sure.
And, but
like the Pizzasaurus Rex. That
I haven't done that one. That's one I've been wanting to try for sure. But I did like Steve's Hot Dogs one time. Steve had like these ghost chili peppers and made this ghost chili pepper sauce, and they put on hot dogs. And I tried to eat. I think I ate 2 hot dogs, and they're like, it was quarter-pound dog and bun and everything, and I ate like 2, and the guy next to me had like about 8 of them down by the time.
Oh my god!
Man.
Oh my god!
And
That's more of a pain endurance challenge than anything.
So then I'm like, I'm out. I'm not like, if he's already got 8, I'm like, there's no way I'm like, so.
Wow.
And it was, but that ghost chili pepper was pretty intense too, and
they really are.
Called it Feast of Flames, and so I got a cool shirt that says Feast of Flames and all that. And
nice.
Maybe I'm just a typical American for thinking this, but I just had this idea about this biscuit and gravy challenge, and how They let you take the leftovers home, right?
I don't know. I mean, if I wanted them, I probably could have, but I just I didn't want to think about biscuits and gravy anymore after eating them, all those already.
Well, I mean, here's what I'm thinking, because, if that was fairly early in the morning, like, Columbia's not very far from St. Louis, so if you got enough people to take this challenge and then take home their leftovers, and then you would have another biscuits and gravy challenge in St. Louis later in the day, okay? So you get what I'm saying? You reheat all this stuff, and then you make somebody else pay to eat the leftovers, okay? But then you don't provide them with any leftover box or a bag or any way of taking it home, okay? So then the next day, you have a challenge for kids and see how much biscuits and gravy your kids can eat. And it's like $5 or something, So maybe you could do all this, and maybe you could eat for free. You might be able to just cover you would just walk away.
This is what a Webster University business degree gets you. An MBA, no less.
I don't have an MBA. I have an MA.
Oh, sorry.
I have an MA. I mean, I haven't done the numbers. This is just conceptual, and I mean, and it couldn't, be cleared by the health department or anything, but but it's a business model. It's more of a medieval one, but
I think we're onto something though.
Yeah. If you can let me know the next time that happens, if it's far enough in advance, maybe we can set this up. Yeah. And, we could do it at South Broadway Athletic Club, where we're having our our show on 10/4, October 4th. What time does it start?
Do they not? 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Yeah.
8 p.m.
Do they not do it every day? It's just a periodic thing?
I don't know. So we happened to just show up because, that was the day we were going.
Yeah.
So it was and they were like, well, typically we like you to call ahead and give us, or something like that, give us a heads up. But I think it was slow enough that morning. They were like, I think we can be able to handle it.
I gotcha.
So yeah, they end up being able to do it, but they act like, they just don't want you to come in and the busy time in the morning or lunch or whatever. And,
and want 4 quarts of gravy.
So anyway, yeah, it was pretty intense, and wanted to die afterwards because like Jesse had mentioned earlier, just kind of mixes and turns into concrete in your gut, and you're like,
oh yeah, breakfast foods.
Yeah,
biscuits are just they're
a lot of starch.
Yeah, man.
But it was hey, it was fun. It was a good story to share, and it was delicious. So, but it's my goal to go back and avenge my family's name and beat that damn thing. So I'm gonna clear my schedule the next day or two and just
there you go. Get a hotel room in Columbia or
go home and crash and.
It would be really cool, and you wouldn't have to fake it. But if you could get an Uber to take you back to your Airbnb that you got next to the truck stop for this challenge. So then either you eat the whole thing or you don't, but you call the Uber, and the Uber picks you up, and you say, "Oh man, I just won the challenge," whether you did or not, and say, "I just ate 72 ounces of gravy and 7 biscuits," and then start to act all sick. And you're videotaping this thing. But first you act all excited. You're really happy that you did the challenge, and you're just walking on air, and then all of a sudden you go, oh. So it's just a sea change, and then you're taping the whole thing, and then the guy's freaking out, and then you're a YouTube sensation.
I gotta say, at that point, if I was pretending to puke, I probably would just puke.
Right.
Yeah, isn't that funny how you can make yourself do stuff like that?
Yeah, it's called bulimia. I mean, bulimia is no laughing matter, of course. But puking in an Uber is pretty funny.
I'm talking about just the intention of what our intentions can, what you can believe you can achieve, that whole Napoleon Hill type thing. But yeah, I think I probably would be sick. It'd be hard to be cheerful, but that's why if you think you're going to lose the challenge, you can just stop eating and let them keep the leftovers, and then call your Uber. Because you can tell an Uber driver literally anything you want. It's just all bets are off. You don't know these people. You could make up whatever kind of fantastic story about where you just came from.
Right.
Yeah.
Jesse's got all kinds of good ideas.
Well, thank you. I'm
glad we're doing the truck driving show.
I'm glad that.
Was this? I mean, he said he didn't want to even be a part of it, but was this part of his idea?
true.
I mean, I just generally go. I defer to the group a lot. It's really the group harmony is what I need to feel secure. So, yeah.
We did one of these years ago at Off Broadway that our friend Johnny Vegas put on.
Yeah.
And I've been kind of hassling him ever since then to do another one. And basically, he was kind of too busy. He just put on that festival out in the Transportation Museum,
Yeah.
And so we were like, well, 10-4 is finally on a weekend night. We got to do it then or never, So, yeah, we just kind of ran with it.
Nice. Yeah, man. Well, again, come on out South Broadway Athletic Club, October 4th. Get involved with Dock Ellis Band on Facebook and dockellisband.com for everything. We got I was listening to the record out there on Spotify on the way here, just getting in the mood and everything, and singing along to some of the favorites like Dumpster Baby and Crystal Meth and all the hits. So it was really made my drive a lot more entertaining.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's hearing things like that make me want to go on living.
Yeah,
sometimes it's rough. If somebody's listening to your song and enjoying it when you're not around, then maybe you ought to stick around and write a few more goofy songs.
That's what I'm all for it. Write a couple more, get a couple more cardboard boxes, write a couple more songs on it.
Right. Well, we have an EP that we have been sitting on for 3 years. Both of those songs we did today are on it, but we were trying to get around to releasing it, and then our bass player had to leave town. So, I don't know when that's going to happen now.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could just put it out. We were going to do a show. But, so we have our friend John Horton is filling in on bass for this truck driving show, which is really exciting. I hadn't seen him play bass in many years before he came to rehearse with us. But he used to play bass in Diesel Island, years ago all the time. And I guess he still does maybe once in a while, but...
Jealousy of Diesel Island was the main motivator in the formation of Dock Ellis.
That's true. We forgot to mention that.
I want to be in a country band like that. So yeah, they showed us how.
Yeah, very nice, man. Well, cool guys. I thank you for doing this, man. This was a ton of fun.
Thank you.
A lot of laughs, and let's say we do it again soon.
Yeah, I was really a treat using all this Heil equipment. I mean, it's just great stuff.
Yep. Proud sponsor of Rock Paper Podcast. Well, thank you, boys, and hopefully I will see you at South Broadway Athletic Club.
Thank you, Shane.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
You can't see, but we're shaking Shane's hand right now.
You're going to edit this, right?
Nope. I don't have that kind of technology. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast.
Well, yeah, that was it.